distinguished members of the media fraternity, esteemed dignitaries, respected faculty from XLRI, Sorbonne, Bordeaux, GCAC, and the IIE Consortium, along with the dedicated teams from XLRI, Shri Dr. Sasmit Patra, Honorable Member of the Rajya Sabha, and other distinguished guests present here today. We have assembled on this special occasion to announce our groundbreaking collaboration among XLRI, I Paris Sorbonne Business School, A Bordeaux Business School, the Danish Consortium for Academic Craftsmanship, DCAC, and the IIE International Consortium.
Collaboration starts a new chapter on how do you take business management, entrepreneurship, research, technology forward, and prepare students who are ready for. And somebody was trying to ask question there, Viksit Bharat of 2047. Thank you so much.
We have initiated this collaboration because we are going to develop certificate courses and little by little more, perhaps a master degree at one moment. We have a range of master degree in Paris, and all the master degrees are located in several countries. Actually, we have 12 agreements in the world with China, with Vietnam, with North Africa, in Algeria, for example. Next weekend I will be in Algiers to give a course in an MBA. So each professor of Sorbonne Business School stay 3 months, more or less, a year outside in these countries, teaching in French, in English, sometimes in Spanish. And concerning XLRI and India, we initiate a collaboration, and I am very happy to have also the Danish school with us, because we have done that, for example, in Vietnam. In Vietnam, we have a collaboration with Bologna in Italy, inside our degrees. So after, it's under the coordination of XLRI, we are going to see which kind of courses. We have already discussed about the courses, about healthcare, as I said, about consulting, about digital leadership or things like that. So after that, my idea today with XLRI today is to say and to see in which area Sorbonne Business School can support the existing degree of XLRI. So XLRI has a degree with a certain number of hours and credits. So we can say we are going to assume all additional credits to have the XLRI degree and additional credits and certificates from Sorbonne, for example. This is one solution. The second solution at one moment, after to have experimented this first option, is to say, okay, so inside a master degree, I'm going to take in charge the half of the courses, you are going to take in charge the half of the courses, and finally we are going to deliver a joint degree. So we are initiating a collaboration, and we are going to see little by little to which in which areas, if we are continuing to develop certificates only, or if one day we go to a master degree. I suppose in some years we can have a joint degree, a common degree, in the area where we have experimented the certificate, and finally in the area where we think the students take the high benefit to have this collaboration in these two visions.
What about the placement?
The placement, I think, and it is also what asks us, our partner in other countries, is to help students graduate of the country to have a better understanding of the European context, and of course, is for people who have the ambition to be international. This is the first target. The second target is to say, okay, perhaps I have not the ambition to be international, but perhaps what I learn with XLRI and some professor from the Danish school or from my school is something else to impact and modify the local companies. We were in China since 35 years. We are not doing agreement for 2 years or 3 years. The average length of my agreement actually is 20 years. So I'm going to try to do the same. And to be at least 20 years or 30 years with XLRI. I just not doing 2 years here, 2 years here, 2 years. If I do only 2 or 3 years, it's not a good thing. We invest a long time in a relationship, in discussion. It's not just to have only 20 students or 40 students and to go. So my ambition is to say, and it's also a demand from, for example, Chinese students, they want to learn from the French feeling of management in order to modify also the management inside pure Chinese company, because they think that the management or we have the same concept in management. You have not a different ROE is learned in Danish.
It's the same.
So it's the same. So perhaps the critics on this ratio, the critics on this concept will be different from a country from the other. So we are going to say to students, okay, if you see all the books on that, they are saying the same thing. But me, I have perhaps a different vision. It's acceptable.
From the Danish part, because when we are talking about the end date, so I especially learned that here in India that actually we are not talking about the end date, because you just continue in the next life when you're looking at the human body. So that is actually a European mindset to it, that we have an end date. But I also into this look, because yes, the year has forgotten.
They wait to be different. If not, you go to teach with a professor from US or UK, and you don't need a French professor or a Danish professor. If you learn, and us, if we want to teach more or less the same concept, we have a different way to see that. I was in a lot of conference with a US professor and so on in international conference. We speak about the same concept. We have not the same arguments, and we have not the same critic spirit about the concept. So it's different. It's not better. It's not bad. It's different. So if you want to know how to be different, you have to experiment European partners, and it will be different. After that, each people decide if they maintain the position, adapt the position, or change the position.
Referring to Mr. Moody, when he went to Denmark, he said that Denmark has the skull and India has the scale. So we are here to bring this intention.
हमारे देश के बच्चों को इंडस्ट्री को जो चाहिए अगले विकसित भारत के जो हमारे उद्देश्य को सफल बनाने के लिए, उसके लिए जो हम लोग पढ़ाते हैं, ठीक है, उसमें काफी बदलाव आता है। और जो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको सिर्फ जो है इंडियन प्रोफेशनल्स को साथ में ग्लोबल सिटीजन बनना है, क्योंकि आगे जाके जितना भी लोगों को इंडिया जब बढ़ेगा, आगे डेवलप होगा, तब हमारे जो बाकी देशों के साथ रिलेशनशिप बहुत मायने एंड और उसी चक्कर में जो है हम लोग को थोड़ा अलग नजरिया लेके प्रोग्राम्स, स्किल डेवलपमेंट, ये सब करना है। और उसी वजह से हम लोग सब पिछले 2 साल से मेहनत कर रहे हैं, और आज हम लोग इस जगह पे आ चुके हैं कि हम लोग कुछ नया दे सकते हैं।
इस पहल से कितना बदलाव देखा?
देश के हिसाब से देखो तो छोटी सागर में छोटा।
देखिए, पहल को हमें 2 तरीके से देखना पड़ेगा। एक होता है रेगुलर 2 ईयर का जो प्रोग्राम होता है, जो रेगुलर बच्चे आते हैं हमारे यहाँ, और एक प्रोग्राम होता है जो वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स जो ऑलरेडी कंपनीज में काम कर रहे हैं 15 साल से 20 साल से। आप लोगों ने बहुत ज्यादा मोदी जी का एक आपने सुना होगा कि हमको उनको नेक्स्ट जनरेशन के लिए तैयार करना है। तो अब 15 साल से मैं कुछ काम कर रहा हूँ, पर अगर मेरे को अपने आप को अगले 15 साल के लिए रेलेवेंट रखना है, तो मुझे किसी और तरीके से तैयार होना पड़ेगा, हमको नए स्किल सेट सीखने पड़ेंगे। तो इन सब प्रोग्राम्स के थ्रू हम लोग नए स्किल सेट को पुश करने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप हॉस्पिटल मैनेजमेंट को देखें, अभी तक हॉस्पिटल मैनेजमेंट हमारे मोस्टली हमारे डॉक्टर्स करते थे, ठीक है, बट हमको एक स्पेशलाइज स्किल चाहिए, राइट। अगर आप इंडस्ट्री को देखेंगे, हॉस्पिटल इंडस्ट्री या हेल्थ केयर इंडस्ट्री को, दिस इज टिपिकली ग्रोइंग एट अ वेरी फास्ट रेट और हमारी डिमांड बहुत ज्यादा है। प्लस हम लोग इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में मेडिकल टूरिज्म के लिए जाने जाते हैं। तो अगर हमको उसको नए स्केल पे लेके जाना है तो हमको एक ऐसा प्रोफेशनल चाहिए जो उन हॉस्पिटल्स को, उन हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम्स को बहुत अच्छे से मैनेज कर सके। इस सब टाइप के प्रोग्राम्स हमको उन सब चीजों में हेल्प करेंगे। जो संतोष सर ने बोला, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि अगले 20 साल के लिए हमको क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है और हमको इंडिया को ग्लोबल स्केल पे लेके जाने के लिए क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है, ये उसकी एक छोटी सी पहल है।
थैंक यू सर।